So bright, I gotta wear shades. I'm gonna play a video to kick us off. It's about 3 minutes, but while the crowd builds, I think it's kind of cool to watch. So just stand by. And here we go. All right. So big thank you to Jonathan for making that video. That was a full day of excitement.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you guys made one heck of an event. That was a group effort for sure. And congrats. And just fun, you know, being with Century 21 now for going on 30 years, the awards and recognition program is really second to none. You know, there's just something about, you know, striving for that masters and getting it, striving for emerald, striving for diamond, striving for Centurion 1, 2, and 3. It's just an extra piece of something that is not part of everything. You know, the awards recognition is kind of fun. All right, so that was the 3-minute kickoff to being led. I think we had everybody on board. Chris, we'll bring in the other agents when we get to that point, but I'll go ahead and start and do my little quotes. Then we'll let Misty go because I'm sure she's got a busy day because we're rapidly approaching the end of the month. So share my screen. Badoom, badoom, badoom. Here we go. When you change your thoughts, remember you're also changing your world. Man, I don't know if you guys, I read so many books that talk about stuff like this. Your thoughts are your reality, and you can totally change what you're thinking about. And I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of agents that have some really crappy thoughts. And you got to fix that. I mean, you're going to make up your mind on something. So make up something that feels good. Stay away from those people who try to disparage your ambitions. Small minds always do that, but great minds give you the feeling you can become greater than you are. From our friend Mark Twain. And then success is not final, and failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. The more you do what we ask you to do, the more rejection you're going to get. But back to question number one was, what's your definition of rejection? Mine is it's one step closer to a yes. Number four, the road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. What's it called? Wake up and knock on doors. Talk to people every day. Number five, success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you made the effort to become the best you can become. That's pretty cool. And as always, keep listing property to keep your income growing. Oh, I'm going to show you something really cool. Ready for this one? Our listing inventory is growing. We're at 122 listings, up from 110. That is huge, right? But what's really happening, and I'm going to say this and you're not going to like what I have to say, we're giving sellers the upper hand and buying into their greed. They are saying things like, I don't care if it sells or not. I want this price or I'm not moving. And we're succumbing to them, and they're going on the market and they're staying on the market longer and they're not getting offers. And then we got to beat them up for price reductions. And that's just what's happening. So I'm seeing it. I'm seeing days on market, 10, 20, 30 days. All of a sudden, some are still mostly going. Well, I'll show you. New listings, we've taken 57 so far this month. 25 are still for sale. So that means 25, 57, 32 have sold already. So 32 sold the week we put them up, and 25 didn't. The 25 that didn't are the what sellers who said, nah, I'll be a jerk for a while. We've done 138 sales for $1.8 million. And, you know, by the time that's really, you know, all in April 20th business, we got another 10 days for sales skimmers. We'll break $2 million again. I mean, this is becoming commonplace. $2 million months are awesome. We've closed 1.2 million. We got 1.3 million pending to close by the end of the year. So Misty and her team will be busy, which leads me to Paramount Title. Misty.
Hey, good morning. So as you guys know, we no longer have Tiffany. So we are, as a group at Paramount Title, sharing the responsibility of just trying to facilitate the needs and of the marketing rep position. But we do have a spot available. So if you know a good candidate for that, please let me know. It definitely takes a, special person looking for, just a very well-polished individual that can fit in with any crowd. So just keep us in mind if you know of someone, please keep us posted. Another thing, and I know that we
so if you have a favorite title person at another title company, bring it up. Yeah,
bring them on over. Yeah. Send them our way. I mean, at least just, send them our way so we can have a chat with them. People that come to Florida Agency Network, I mean, Angelique Beggins raised her hand.
Oh, you want the job?
But I will say, I just actually yesterday hit my 13 years here. So I've hit the teens, and I think that's pretty awesome. And it says a lot about the company. So if you guys know of somebody, again, just send them our way. And just something else that I want to touch on, and I know that we beat this into your heads, but fraud, please just make sure you know who your seller is. Make sure that you let your clients know if they get wiring instructions from someone. Be leery on that. Call us. Google our phone number. We're not hard to find. Call our office. And also, if you get an email, and just because it maybe has India's signature line in it. It doesn't mean the fraud happened within Florida Agency Network or Paramount Title. I mean, they can copy and paste anyone's signature line. So, just be mindful of that. And so if that does happen, we may ask everyone in the transaction to change your passwords because, we don't know where the fraud happened. So it could have
I'm gonna
happened.
comment on that real quick, Misty,
Okay.
because Jeff and I were buying a condo and I had to wire money to the condo people. Jeff emailed me the wiring instructions and I knew enough to call the bank of the title company. And it wasn't ours. And I asked them to confirm the wiring instructions, which was awkward in and of itself because I'm not sure quite who I was calling. So it's kind of a he said, she said, who asked the question first type of thing. But I got through that and I confirmed the number. And then I sent my money. It was like $70,000. And I never got acknowledgement that they received it. And it was a Friday, I think, when I sent it. So by Monday, I forgot to call. Tuesday, I went, oh shit, I wonder if they ever got it. And I called and they did get it. But there's also a responsibility, I think, for the title company to say, woohoo, we got it. You
Yes.
can't say you didn't get it because you don't know if you didn't get it. But if you get it, it's a peace of mind thing to say, hey, your money arrived in our trust account and we're good to go.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, I do, whenever I was in closing, whenever I had a buyer, and most buyers are very much like, hey, I'm sending my wire. Can you let me know when it's there?
Mhm.
Closers will be on the lookout for it. We don't want our buyer worrying all weekend. I would put myself in their shoes. I don't want to be worried about where my money's at all weekend.
Yeah, that was
I don't
real
want my buyer to be worried all weekend because then they're going to be worrying you to death.
correctamundo.
And then you're going to be calling me.
Right. The fewer phone calls, the better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am. And that's a great idea. Pick your closer, pick your marketing rep, and you can help us out. Zillow update. Give me a moment here. Fascinating. A change in the wind, higher mortgage rates, inventory rebound could be the first steps toward a more balanced market. Zillow's economist saying this. Inventory rose substantially in March. See, we're just a little microcosm of the rest of the world, right? A welcome return to seasonal norms for the housing market. Home values are still increasing quickly, but no longer accelerating on a monthly basis. The typical US home is worth 20.6% more than it was a year ago. 20.6% more. Annual rent growth. What is your rental worth? Oh, sorry, you don't get to play in the appreciation game when you have a rental. Ooh. Annual rental growth slowed for the first time in more than a year, and rents grew less than 1% from February, suggesting slower growth in the year ahead. 1% a month is still 12% a year, by the way. Zillow home value and sales forecast. Zillow expects annual home growth to begin to gradually cool down late this spring. Home growth slowing down. That doesn't mean prices falling. It means not growing as fast. So I think you got to take the words and read them properly in context to see what, and I'm not being a bull on this thing either, but what it says, it's still forecasting 14.9% growth. So instead of growing at 20%, it's going to grow at 14%, which means growth is slowing, but it's not dropping. Does that make sense? 6.09 million existing home sales are expected in 2022, according to our latest forecast, a 0.5% decrease from 2020. 2021 was the fastest growing, most of a number of home sales, I think, ever recorded. So we're going to drop 0.5%. That's less than 1%. So I think, Chris, it was you doing a class the other day saying, we don't have low inventory, we have high demand. You can't have low inventory, I mean, there's nothing to sell, when we sold more homes than have ever been sold in a year before. So it's just the words that are coming out of the media are just need to be put in perspective. I mean, if we do 6 million home sales again this year, yeehaw. March housing starts, builders press on. Now this is just available to the Zillow Premier brokers. This isn't going out to the public. March housing starts totaled 1.7 million seasonally adjusted rates, up 0.3% from February and up 3.9% from March. 1.7 million homes. Housing permits issued in March were up 0.4%. This is not going to get us out of the woods. This is way too slow. And up 6.7% from a year ago, which is supply chain disruption coming to a norm, although we're still waiting for windows for our South Tampa office. 1.3 million seasonally adjusted rates for homes were completed in March, down 4.5% from February and down 13% from a year ago. That's supply chain disruption. And last paragraph, second last, March existing home sales, 5.77 million existing homes were sold in March, down 2.7% from February, 4.5% from March, according to NAR. Total housing inventory at the end of March amounted to 950,000 units. NAR said up 11.8%. And the median existing home price for all housing types was $375,000, up 15% from March this year. These are not normal 15% increases. That's just incredible. Mortgage rates moved up last week, reaching their highest levels in more than 10 years. So there you go, guys. If you've not been selling real estate for 10 years, you have never seen mortgage interest rates this high. And I'm here to tell you, this ain't high. Yes, you have to qualify for more, but this is not high. 5% is a damn good rate historically over time. Economic data for March was released last week, showing continued inflationary pressures and tight labor markets. There may be additional concerns of continued supply chain issues from the war in Ukraine and lockdowns in China. China's a mess. Increasing rates, along with their low inventory and rising home prices, are limiting the typical spring acceleration in home purchase activity. We are down a little bit in units, but the volume is high because the prices are so much higher. Rates markets will likely remain volatile given uncertain in global markets and anticipation of Federal Reserve actions to address inflation. Yeah, don't look at my 401k or any of those things because they're not pretty right now.
Is that, Craig, is that something you can forward to the team?
Sure.
Because those are really good talking points for you when you're hearing the market's crazy, interest rates are doing this, the market's doing this or that. Those are really good talking points that you guys should probably pick one or two for each topic and have that as something that you can expand on a little bit and elaborate on when you're talking to people out in the field.
That's why I share it. And once again, that is for Zillow Premier Brokers only. That's not just going to the public. That is a kind of a neat little thing for us. So good stuff. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That is sent to your inbox as we speak. I had a little fatality last night. I accidentally deleted everything in my inbox. I only had 27 messages in my inbox, but I deleted everything. So my inbox only has, that's it. That's my inbox right now. Crazy. That's not what I want. This is what I want. A reminder, D.R. Horton, our lovely, friendly home builder, the first sale in May, who reports to me that they wrote a contract in May, this is April, call me and you've got a $1,000 extra bonus coming up just because you did that and you're listening to our sales meeting. So that's kind of cool. Yesterday at our manager meeting, we decided to do something different. So Chris, I'm gonna ask you to find these people. There's just so many opportunities and games we have to play and tools we have to use that sometimes you hear us talk about them and it goes in one ear and out the other. So we thought we'd try something different. So can you find Lauren, Georgelina, Brenda, Jessica, Diane, and Jimmy?
Lauren is there already. I just gave her permission to talk, and then we'll also have Michelle Camp. I have her, and we'll give her permission to talk.
So Miss Fleischman,
Yes, sir.
you were going to give us an example of a tool that you've learned about that you've used to put cash in your pocket.
Well, I am a big promoter of the warranty, global home warranty. It's saved me and my clients. It saved them a ton of money. One example I have is one of my clients, and you have to know your clients. You use the disc and you know who you're dealing with. So if they live in worry land, and they're adverse to purchasing the home warranty, buy it for them. I've done this a couple of times, and it's just that with that particular one, and I only buy the $775 one, the Elite, that covers the inspection. So that this one case is a week after they closed, while they were showering, they had sewage backing up into the shower, keeping them company. So what happened was there was a problem with in the plumbing, actually in the belly of the plumbing system. So they covered a lot of that. And that was example number one. And another home, the refrigerator line leaked all over the floor and behind the wall. And they purchased it. The first people I purchased it for, because they just, had lived on the ledge. They lived on the ledge, and they didn't want to purchase it. And the thing that you have to do, and there's a stigma with home warranties. Look, I had one, American Home Shield, absolutely blows. So you have to educate, empower, encourage them about the global home. It's different from all of the other home warranties, and in the fact that you get to choose your own person to come out. And Dwayne is always available if there's an issue. And if they refuse to purchase it, like I said, buy it for them, then they'll see you value it that much. And they're like, oh, wow, it must be pretty good if they're purchasing it for us. And what I do is I send them the brochure so they can check out all the different plans. And when you are when you're sending all those forms, once you go under contract, I send that particular one separately and make it fillable, so they can physically check the decline or accept box. And I send a note with that form saying, I strongly suggest you look over the brochure and invest in peace of mind with this home warranty. And I tell them, I said, I know home warranties have a stigma. This is different. I believe in it. I would have it on my home when I sell or buy. And they're just more apt to do that. You know what? I'll admit it, throw myself under the bus. Back in the day when I was a newbie, I would just click the decline because it was easier. I wanted to get everything approved and ready to go. So
We suspect that happens with other people too.
So, you hit the decline, you want to get all those papers in and approved, and get that great little note from Sam. Congratulations, all your I's are done and T's are crossed, So I started sending that form separately and giving them the fill and sign so they can physically check the accept and decline after my little blurb is strongly suggesting they purchase it. And if they don't, and like I said, your personality types, buy it for them. $775 is nothing for peace of mind.
Great idea. Lauren, I want to thank you because you participate in like everything we do, and you're always so welcome to share. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Jessica, what are you going to teach us today?
Hello. So I am here to talk about my Ribbon deal. I used Ribbon to get an FHA buyer under contract, and it was a lifesaver. So
did you work with Vanessa, or who did you talk to? Or did you talk to anybody?
Yes, I actually did speak with Vanessa, and this kind of happened last minute. I had this FHA buyer, they found this house that they loved. I wrote an offer as an FHA offer, and we went well over asking price. We had an appraisal gap coverage. short inspection period. You know, I did everything I could to make the offer strong. And I was lucky that on the listing side, the listing agent had called me pretty much to tell me that my offer had been declined and that the seller would be choosing a cash offer instead because there was risk to our FHA offer. And even though it was over asking price and we had an appraisal gap coverage, it was only of $10,000. And so she wasn't sure where it was actually going to close. And the cash offer was just stronger, even though it was less than ours. So then my wheels started spinning. And I think it was a morning meeting actually that someone had mentioned Ribbon and it triggered me. And Ribbon was extremely awesome to work with because usually they say you need 24 hours to get your buyer accepted. And I started hounding them and I was like, what can we do? I need this in the next 2 hours. Like, I need my buyer approved with this property. And they were so quick and so responsive. And they sent me, the property was listed at 280 and Ribbon sent me an approved cash offer for $308,000. So I was able to flip it. I turned in a new offer real quick at 308 cash, and that's what did it. That's what got us under contract. So
And all you
Ribbon
really had to do was put the
awesome.
ribbon addendum with your contract, right?
Right. So you have to submit the property on Ribbon's website, and Ribbon will then write the offer for you pretty much, and your buyer has to sign it through Ribbon's website, and then you can download it and share it. But yes, it comes with the Ribbon addendum, and yeah, that's how we did it. It was really awesome. And Ribbon, they communicate very well. And when your client uses Ribbon, Ribbon charges 1% of the purchase price as a fee at closing if the buyer still purchases with their FHA loan or whichever loan they're using. And if Ribbon has to step in and purchase the property, they charge 2.75%. So Ribbon requires that the buyer have 2.75% as an escrow deposit, just in case they need to step in. And we almost needed them to step in because I put a really quick closing on there because that's what the sellers wanted. And that was part of my strategy. And once we went under contract, the lender told me, actually, I don't think we're going to be able to make this closing date work. And I was like, oh, well, that's how we got under contract. So someone's better start working hard. But we were able to extend the closing date a few days, and we're still purchasing with the FHA loan. But Ribbon is there in the background if we need them. So
it's only going to cost the buyer
FHA
1% extra, so $2,800 or $3,000 to get the house they
Yes.
wanted. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
And they
awesome.
would have never, they were willing to pay $10,000 over the appraised value. So really, I think they're saving money. They're only paying $3,000 more, and they would have never gotten their offer accepted being FHA. So it was worth every penny.
Yeah. So Lauren just chatted in that I'm glad to know you got to, don't rely on it happening in 2 hours. There's a loan officer involved that don't plan on that, but it looks like it can be done.
Don't plan on it. They were very responsive, but if you have more time, it's better.
Cool. Georgelina, I haven't met you yet, but I hear you got a success story for us.
Hi, good morning. Well, it's actually pretty much like Jessica. I had a buyer and we came, we know Ribbon because Crystal came to my rescue, and I was not getting frustrated, but I was like, hey, I had like 5 offers. They were not accepted. They were good offers. We were going over asking, quick inspection period, quick closing, and I was not getting accepted with my buyer. So Crystal mentioned Ribbon, and also I had a very pleasant experience. Vanessa is very helpful. So my suggestion is just if you have a buyer and you're not sure if you're going to use Ribbon or not, it doesn't hurt to put your buyer on the Ribbon website, create a profile, send the pre-approval so they can qualify your buyer, because they will talk to the lender and make sure that whatever your buyer is qualified for, it's true. And then you can start inputting addresses. And I had like at least, 4 or 5 addresses. So once Ribbon does like a appraisal, they give you like a Ribbon cash price, you can write the offer for the price that they put on them on their appraisal. So again, my buyer was an FHA. Sellers were not liking FHA, so I was not getting the offers just because of an FHA loan. And also the house that he liked, they were asking for no appraisal contingency. So my buyer had cash, but not like a huge amount. So I was not going to risk and gamble with my buyer's money. I was like, I can't go without an appraisal contingency. So in this case, Ribbon was my backup. And indeed, my appraisal came $7,000 short. So my buyer ended up spending only $4,700, and he would needed to pay $7,000. So we saved some money, and we have a transaction that after the inspection period is guaranteed. So that's also good for us as realtors, because our commission was secure no matter what. We're gonna close with our loan, but if the loan fails, we have Ribbon, so our work is safe. So that's also a good thing about Ribbon. But I suggest, just go into the website, put your buyer's profile, have your buyer pre-approved with Ribbon, and just have the addresses. And then if you're using them, that's good. If you're not, well, you have that.
It's like a rich uncle backup.
Right.
I love it. Thomas, I had Brenda as an OfferPad example. There she is, with all those fancy names. Hola, Brenda.
Hola. So I'm gonna keep it brief. So yes, OfferPad. Everyone that thinks they don't have a buyer, we do. We have lots of buyers, and OfferPad is one of those buyers. So basically, you can choose whatever you want. I just been using it as the main key for everything, even though I have other buyers, but I don't want to just limit the price or anything like that. So you can choose whatever you want, whether it's expires or FSBOs on Zillow or family or your farm. But basically what I do is I use my cash e-buyer to come in the door by just saying, I can get you an offer like within 24 hours and we can talk about it. I don't necessarily come out and say it's OfferPad or Open Door. I just say I have an e-buyer and I have other buyers, but would you like to know, how much you could get for your house right away? And you get to choose when to move, which is great. And just kind of get their curiosity going. And basically that's how I've been able to get deals. Not all of them have listed. Some I have closed outside, just closed the seller and sell.
I think I've signed 5 or 6 OfferPad contracts for you. So you've done quite a few.
Yes, because it just seems like I don't have to go anywhere, because what I've done is when I call them up, I say, I see that you have pictures here on Zillow. Can I use those? Yeah, you can use them. Or I'll say, you mind taking pictures and sending them? And they sent them to me. So I'm doing everything without actually going outside, which is what I initially liked because of COVID. I thought it would be a great idea to just kind of switch that off instead of going in person and taking pictures. But like Lauren said, I'm not a master at the disc by any means, but I do have the basic understanding, and I try really hard to do it, because knowing my deep personality is so hard for me to just lower myself for anything. Not in a bad sense, you know what I mean? Just try to be in tune with other ones, but I do it. I just kind of think about them. What do you need? How can I help you? And yesterday I was thinking another great thing to do if I really want to help people, you have that mentality of helping people. We're always helping, but if you want to help people, is I started looking at all the pre-foreclosures and just calling them and saying,
Yeah, most of them have
I got a
equity.
cash
They don't even
offer.
know it.
Yeah, and I just started doing that yesterday, but that's pretty much it. We all have buyers And we have two strong e-buyers, which I prefer Open Door, but I mean OfferPad, but I use Open Door to kind of play them both.
Well, OfferPad pays us 30%.
Yeah. So, well, it's a lot. I guess I got used to the process too, but that is my number one buyer, and all of us in the office have it. So we all have buyers. There's not one agent that doesn't have a buyer.
Yep. Cool. Well, thank you for
That's
sharing.
pretty much what I've been doing. Okay.
Jimmy, do you have a story for us too?
He's got an agent in the room.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, I
Yes,
have
sir.
Michelle, I have Michelle in the room.
Okay.
You can go ahead and go.
What's cooking, Michelle?
You
Good
might have to
morning.
talk like really close.
Okay, so I also just closed a buyer using the Ribbon program. And I agree with the other agents. They were really great to work with. And Vanessa was very instrumental in helping my buyer understand the program. I started working with this buyer several months ago, and she was a conventional loan, very well qualified. She had saved her 5% down in her closing costs. And we started looking at homes and very quickly realized that she wasn't going to be able to compete in this market because she didn't have the money for an appraisal gap. So she looked at me and she said, I thought I was in good shape. And I said, well, you're a dream buyer in a normal market, but we're not in a normal market. So I started looking into the Ribbon program and realized that it would be really beneficial for her to be presented as cash. But the most important piece for her was the appraisal gap guarantee that Ribbon offers. She, for whatever reason, had a mental block. Even if she had the money to cover an appraisal gap, she did not want to. She said, I'm not paying more than a house appraises for. So by using the Ribbon program, they give a cash valuation on every home that you're looking at. And a lot of times that cash valuation is more than the listing price. So, but they guarantee that the house will appraise for that. If it doesn't, Ribbon lowers the sales price and they send the money to closing to cover the gap on them. I
That's
couldn't
crazy.
believe they did it that way, but they do. So
Well, said
for
another
her-
way, Ribbon values their opinion of value greater than the third-party appraiser's opinion of value.
Exactly. And so for her, it was significant because she had the peace of mind that she would not have to pay more for a home that what it appraised for. So she felt like she could be in the game, offer more than asking price if the valuation supported that, but had no risk that she would not appraise for that value. So for her, that was significant, and that helped her to accept the program. And I don't think she would have been able to buy a home without the program because of being able to be presented as a cash buyer.
Nice. Didn't we have somebody else who's been talking about Home Partners as a asset? Anybody want to raise your hand and give us a Home Partners success story? Because I think it's one of the greatest ones out there. I'm not seeing any hands raising.
If Pamela Harris is on the line, she would be a good person. I don't know, Pamela, are you there?
I don't see her.
Okay, so let me just explain what she did. She went to a for sale by owner, and there was 500,000. The home was listed for 500,000. They came in at. Okay, sorry. I just thought about what you said, Home Partners. I was to tell you about OfferPad, so my bad.
I saw Andrea DeFilippo raised her hand. I'm going to give her permission to chat and see if that was by accident or on purpose.
Hi, Andrea.
Good morning.
Do you have a Home Partners success story? Nope. Yes. Muted, unmuted.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, I apologize. I was trying to get it maneuver on my phone. Yeah, I want to say Home Partners is coming in strong. I'm getting, leads coming in left and right.
They got
And some
$5 billion to spend, guys.
Mhm.
Billion with a B.
Mhm. And some of them are pre-approved, ready to go with tight, tight timelines. And I explained the process to them. I always ask them, do you know about Home Partners? I always mention that how competitive they are in the tight market that we're in, and how much an advantage, certified agent. And, I've done several transactions. I always promote them, but more importantly, I said about the process and explain and get, like they said, the personality and the communication and speed to lead is the name of the game. So once they're pre-approved, I kind of send properties, I explain them how I do it, and more importantly, text me immediately. But what I found is working is when I find a property and I know I'm going to submit an offer, to make that connection with the listing agent and ask them if they're familiar with Home Partners of America. 75% are, 50% is only working with them. Some don't even know. And then I just promote them. And with the listing agent, make that connection. And I just got one under contract last week, and I'm closing one the end of this week. And I have a couple I'm working on. So again, they are huge. I said they're dominating the market right now and coming in with that cash. And we have Sapphire, who is our regional. Every time I text her or what, she is really good at getting back to us. So definitely take advantage of Sophia. She's very knowledgeable. And if not, when you call their answer too. And at an agent standpoint, if you haven't done one, I'm telling you, it's like the smoothest transaction. They communicate well through email, and I'm just all over it and going with it with Home Partners. So yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Mhm.
So Ashley and I were in Hollywood, Florida last week, or 2 weeks ago now. And Bill Goldsmith, who is the leader, one of the founders of Home Partners, quit and went to become a Coldwell Banker agent, started a team. And he realized being a realtor was really hard. So he's back at Home Partners now. But just to give you an idea of what Andrea is talking about, these are all Home Partners leads that came in last week. So Realogy has partnered with Home Partners, and they're part of our relocation team now. But they're also available to all of you just to talk, and there's social media ads, and there's all kinds of stuff you can do to promote Home Partners. And in a market like this, where people are afraid they're overpaying or the market's going to die, what a great opportunity to hedge your bet. They're going to raise the price 3.5% a year. You just saw from Zillow, they're expecting a 19% price increase this year. So next year, if the house went up 19%, you can hedge your bet and buy it at 3.5% more. But if they're wrong and values go down, you don't have to move. You just pay rent again. So beautiful idea for the cautious type of buyer that's out there.
Also, in that same regard, when they were looking at, we had a buyer that went with Home Partners, and the Home Partners offered something like $325,000, $326,000. It was over the asking price. The buyer ended up qualifying and decided to get a loan. So they swapped back and went with their own loan instead of the Home Partners offer. They went to close on that property, and the appraisal came in at like 311 or 312. So Home Partners was offering them a cash purchase for this buyer that was $10,000 to $12,000 above what the appraisal came in at for the buyer's loan. So they swapped back to Home Partners, and we're going to use Home Partners to close.
Wow. So anyway, guys, my thing is awareness, right? Awareness gives you flexibility. Flexibility gives you options, and options give you power. So we've been talking about these things as the management to you, and some of you go right out the other ear. So maybe if you hear from practice, agents are actually doing this and making deals happen. So just wanted to share that with you. So thank you, team, for sharing your experiences. Ashley?
And I also want to throw out there about Home Partners. If
You need
somebody,
certified.
what's that?
You got to get certified.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But one cool thing is somebody that's moving from California to Florida, it's not the same, right? If you're relocating for a job and you don't really know where you feel like you're going to fit in, or your kid's going to like this school, is your wife going to like, what was it, yoga studio? Someone was talking about that at one point. But it's definitely that safe bet of giving them that option to actually have the power to purchase in this
Try
market
before you buy.
Yes.
Yeah, think about it. We deal with relocating buyers from California or any other place for that matter. Do they want to be in Seminole, or do they want to be in the Bexar Islands? Do they want to be in South Tampa? Or do they want to be in West Chase? There's a lot of differences.
Hey,
right?
Craig.
So
I've got Sherry Keenan here at the Madeira Beach office that
Oh, cool.
not only wants to talk about global home warranty, but also a thing we talk about all the time, pre-inspections.
Go for it.
Sherry.
I like you guys validate our stuff.
For my buyers, I always remind them that for the most part, they're buying a used home. And I encourage the global home warranty. And then after we close, and they follow the suggestion, and after they close, a few weeks later, I'll follow up with them, because invariably something always breaks when you first buy a home. It happens. It's Murphy's Law. And with incredible success, global home warranty has been great. Dwayne has been fabulous. You know, even at the last minute, the day before closing, he makes it easy to do the home warranty. So that's been a great asset to have for my clients, because they really use it afterwards. But the other thing that I use when I'm doing listings, and recently had an experience where I was able to sell a home for about 100,000 more than in that neighborhood. We did a pre-certification. I used Eagle Inspections. He came out and he identified that the outside electric panel was not approved anymore. It was the Stanley panel, and that was going to be a problem for the home. It was a 1925 home and had 3,000 square feet. And so the owners stood up to the plate. They replaced that panel for $3,000. But boy, did that pay off, because when I could say something was pre-certified, show the inspection report to potential buyers coming in, I think that electric panel alone would have made the difference between the price they could have gotten on the unit and making.
Great. Yep. Thank you for sharing, Sherry. I 100% agree with every one of those statements. That's why we teach it. It's nice to know some of you actually, you're doing it too. I like it. Okay. Okay, I think we've covered everybody we had online for this. Awesome. I hope you guys like hearing from your peers rather than us. So we'll kind of say the same thing, but we'll do it. Okay, this one. D.R. Horton, we talked about that. Perfect. I just want to remind you, Moxie's out, right? So that's the phone number you need to have in your phone, please. If you don't have it, write it down now and put it in your phone. We had a manager meeting yesterday. We're going to talk about, we want to get back to engaging more one-on-one, but as an attempt to start that, we're going to start like today on the birthday announcements. I'll get to it in a minute. There's people there, I just don't know you. And I miss that. When we were pre-COVID, we did something called Next Level University, which was about every 2 months or so. And everybody who joined the company came to that meeting, and we got to look at you in the face and shake your hand and then put a name with a face. And we can't do that. So we're going to start doing a monthly new agent Zoom, probably going to do it for 90 days. And we want to meet you 3 times during that 90 days. And that means you get dressed and you put on clothes and you put your camera on, and we actually communicate. So that'll be more coming to that. But if you're new, we want to start to get there, because I don't like all these names you don't see. Jimmy, you were going to share a fancy wizard idea. Were we going to do this today, or no, we're going to do it to Thursday? Never mind.
Well, I'm going to show everybody how to do it on Thursday, but I can share real quick just to show kind of what it looks like in less than 30 seconds, if you want to let me.
Yeah. So Jared James came up with a statement that I read and Chris read, and Chris did a class on it last Wednesday, and I wrote a wizard on it. And the idea is stop saying the market's crazy, because your sellers think it's easy. And I've been purposely doing that with all the people I talk to. And I say, how is the market? I said, man, I got to tell you, it is so damn complex and complicated and competitive. It's really hard these days. And they go like, wow, I didn't realize that. And all of a sudden they're feeling that it's not easy. It's complex, it's complicated, and it's competitive. So that's kind of the idea. And that's what this wizard article says, which I believe I sent to all of you already. But Jimmy, go ahead and show us.
Yeah, I'll need to share here.
I'll stop my share.
So basically what we'll be doing every month for you is, I know that you're, as Craig sends out the wizard article, some of you use it in so many different ways. And what we've decided to do is we are going to be making a Moxie presentation, a non-listing presentation set up every month for you. So all you have to do is go in and click a couple things, and now you have a presentation you can share print, or whatever you'd like. So I'm just going to show you real quick what it looks like. And then tune in on Thursday as I show you actually how to do this. Again, it's already done. It's literally within like 3 clicks, you're done. But what you'll do is I'll teach you how to do this on Thursday with Craig. And we're also going to go into a little bit more Moxie, like Moxie Impress and a couple other things for you. So, but just to kind of give you an idea, it will be done every month for you. It's going to be a templated, so you do not have to really do anything. And here's your article. All done, ready to go on our website. Share this wherever you want. And then it just talks about the forms that are in there. It's about the company, about you, and our locations. Really short and sweet, but done nice professionally for you. And it's set up for you to be done literally in 3 or 4 clicks, and you're done.
Which
with
is
it.
why we want you to spend the time and get your database
Yep.
set up properly. Right? Because ideally, you got your past clients and your spheres of influence should be in the database organized, and then you
Well-
should be communicating with them on a regular basis. So we want to give you content to make sure you do that.
And I'll show you some added stuff. Obviously, I go above and beyond. So I'll show some added stuff that I've done. Where adding a video, adding part of my website that actually talks a little bit about selling your home and how complex the market actually is. I'll show you some of that. But one of the really cool features with how Moxie connects together, last week, was it last week or the week before, Chris and I did we did a training on how to use Remine for a farm and basically import your farm into your Moxie Engage. And if you have it set up in a group, how easy it is. I can literally send this presentation to everybody in my farm that I have an email by just clicking one button.
That's slick.
And it's done. So it's very slick, very cool. And like I said, I'll share more on Thursday. So tune in Thursday morning.
Cool. All righty, back on track. 9:21, 8 minutes. Can I finish? Referrals, broker to broker, typo, sorry. Okay, guys, referrals, you should not be accepting them as an agent, right? I've mentioned this before, but we've got a lot of people and a lot of lead sources. So when you accept a referral and don't tell us about it, we can't check it against our database to make sure we haven't already accepted it from somebody else, and then we end up owning 2 referrals. So Ashley wants me to remind you that when you're getting broker to broker referrals, copy relocation on it. We're going to tag it and see, because we got one yesterday that an agent signed accepting the referral, which is not binding, by the way, because the broker has to sign it, not the agent. And that customer has already been referred to us and to another agent by a different source. So here, I'm not going to honor that agent referral because I didn't sign it and it's not binding on that. So I'm not being powerful here. That's just the way it works. So a lot of times lead sources are coming to you direct, and I'm all for you taking the referral. But whenever I sign one, I copy relocation on it and they double check it. So I want to make sure that happens.
And it also protects you. If
100%.
you've already accepted it, then I don't accept it from somewhere else.
Exactly. And then
If you've already taken the extra step to put it into Moxie, like we train on, if they're at an open house, then it would also go back to you. So it really does protect you.
Yes. Last sales in each quarter. Oh, yeah. So we're going to deviate now. Jeff and I have had this fantasy for years that every quarter we get together and we set goals as a group on what we'd like to accomplish in the upcoming quarter. So we're going to take an attempt at that. And we're going to use our Zoom meeting at the last sales meeting of each quarter, which I've already put in my calendar. That it's going to be a different format than what we're doing now. And it's going to be a pump up, exciting, interactive. What do you want to get accomplished next quarter? And so more on that. So that'll be June 28th. We'll get ready for the third quarter, which will be that. Production dashboard. This is something I wanted to show you. Am I sharing my screen? Yes. This is real. Okay, these are financial reports that Joy sends me. And I want you to see purple is 2022. 2022, 2022. So, go back pre-pandemic, 200 sales a month was a really good month. And then we got this COVID craziness, and red was 2021, which was a really, really, really good year.
We're not seeing whatever you're sharing. All we see is your slide.
That's weird.
Yeah, all we saw was the slideshow, not whatever you were reading.
How about now?
Good.
Okay. So the purple bar is 2022. So January, we did 239 units versus 283. So that's about 20% decline in units, right? But when I show commissions, look, the purple is higher. So what does that mean? We're selling fewer houses that cost more money, right? So our commissions are up, but our units are down. So this is units, this is revenue, right? So I just want you to see that, because when people ask me what's going on, I'm saying, we are down about 20% in units, right? We're down a lot more in March, but our revenue is substantially higher. I mean, anything over 2 million bucks is a good month. 2.6, 2.7, 2.7. Those are good revenue numbers, but the units are down, right? So that's just, what I wrote down here. We're slowing down to warp speed. So I just wanted to share that, just because it's proof that I say these things, but you don't necessarily see them. Ojo report, you got the drill on that. Ribbon report, we did that well. Moxie training, Jimmy's going to be in Madeira Beach tomorrow from 11 to 12, and in Sun City on Friday from 11 to 12. So if you want to get some hands-on Moxie training, that's when you do it. Angelique sent out an email with all last week's classes. I think we're delivering some really good content. So if you miss it live, go back and watch. I got a whole bunch of new agents to mention. Carlos Lantero, welcome to the branded team. Thomas, you want to introduce Carlos?
Yes, Carlos Monteris, 20-year veteran, works at Madilla Air Force Base, looking to expand and work really hard doing real estate, and very excited to have him. I think he's going to do very well because he's military, disciplined, and he's ready to kick some butt.
Sweet.
Welcome to the team.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. I got a bunch more of these coming. Eduardo. Looks like an FBI agent. Chris or Jimmy, you want to introduce Eduardo?
Yeah, Eduardo's he's an experienced agent from a different company, didn't have a ton of business and felt like he needed more direction, some more help. And we partnered up with him, and we're looking forward to getting him rolling and giving him the tools that he needs to build that successful business.
All right. Welcome, Eduardo. I've got more. Why did I save this one? I covered that last week. Huh. I had a lot more of these. Here we go. Marvin Rodriguez, Brandon team, Thomas.
Marvin is very excited about to do what he's doing. Right now, he's currently working at, I believe, Verizon, and he's looking to do big things. His whole idea is to try to do this full time, but I think we're going to see some big things coming from Marvin. So welcome to the team, Marvin.
Welcome, Marvin. Eddie Mangual, BE3, Crystal.
Yes, Eddie, he joined us a couple weeks ago. We're excited. He came from another local Century 21 here in Orlando, so he's an experienced agent and he's hitting the ground running.
Welcome, Eddie. And Chris Everett from Indian Rocks Beach team, Julie. Or Jeff.
Where's Julie?
Here, I'm here.
There she is.
Just trying to, get all this microphone stuff going on. Chris, he's actually here right now. He's great. He has been coming to all the meetings. He is so excited to learn this business. He's been doing open houses for agents. He is fantastic at Moxie. He shares all of his presentations with me. He's going to do really great. I'm excited for him.
Good. Welcome, Chris. Meredith White, welcome to BE3 as well. Crystal?
Meredith is another new agent to our team, and Meredith is actually an attorney by trade. So she has gotten all of her tools together. She's participating in tons of training, and we're looking forward to her first transaction. Are happy to have her aboard.
Welcome, Meredith. I just want you guys to see that people are joining us. Here is Anna Maslenka.
Yeah. Anna came to us from another brokerage, a local one here in Madeira Beach. And so kind of excited to have that win under our belt. She is not new to the business, has been helping with marketing in the other business. So she has a lot of that in her tool belt, and she's gonna, she has a lot of drive. She's gonna do really well.
Nice. Welcome, Anna. Stephen, Sarasota, Kat.
Stevenson is amazing. He joined us a few weeks ago. He's got an incredible marketing background. He's got all kinds of radio experience. He's very, very much engaged. He's joining all our meetings and trainings. I'm really excited for him. He's very engaged. He's going to do so well.
Awesome. Welcome, Stevenson. Cassandra. Brandon Heem.
Cassandra is originally from Wisconsin. She has an insurance company that she has, and she also has mortgage experience. Very excited to have Cassandra come on the team because she does have some experience in real estate. So welcome to the team, Cassandra. Looking for big things from you.
All righty. And I did Eduardo. I think that's everybody I had, kind of organized. Very good. Finishing up. Food pantry, we're gonna skip for now. Social, Sammy's doing her social stuff. There's her contact information. IRB's Beach Fest is this coming weekend. I know Kathy still look for some sponsors. Save the date, guys. Our first quarter top agent event will be at Top Golf on May 13th. So that's a couple weeks from now. So put that on your calendar. If you haven't been announced, you will be announced if you made it. That'll be 11:30 to 2. That's a fun day. It's a Friday. Florida 21 is the 25th to the 27th with a bonus day early for the managers on the 24th. If you haven't registered for that, I don't know if the registrations are out yet, but we need to book rooms and get all that stuff done. So that's at the Gaylord Palms Resort. So I'll check on that, but we're going to get the RSVPs out. If you didn't go to 121 in Las Vegas, you really want to go to Florida 21 just to stay in touch with what's going on with the corporation. We're going to skip that part for now. This is just, I'm not seeing it. I showed you last week the commission rates being offered. Most of the time, 2% is about the lowest we're getting. I'm not seeing the dollar stuff anymore, which is good. But if you want to get a 3% commission, I suggest using the showing form, which is in the Florida Interactive Forms under .loop. And that was where you can have your buyers pay the difference. If the sellers shorten you on something, you can do it. Read the Wizard article I sent you. I like this verbiage. The market is complex. The market is complicated. The market is competitive. It's not crazy, right? It's just a time. Birthdays this week: Beatrice Villarejo from Apollo Beach on the 27th, Kate Heath from South Tampa on the 28th, Jason Palisari on the 30th, Ed Schwind on May 1st, and Angie Richardson on May 2nd. So those are upcoming birthdays right now. Leads through the friggin' roof this week, 349. Ashley and I had an interview, and we hired a consultant now who's going to drive our lead conversion on Ojo, Op City, and Prime Street. So these guys are really in with those groups, and you're going to see a lot of changes from us coming through how that's working. So if you guys want to get more opportunities, this is pretty much guaranteeing to get us more. So right now, when you're a new agent and you sign up for Op City, for example, you show up as an emerging agent until you close 4 deals, and then you get experience. They're going to bypass that step for us because of our relationships, and all of our agents that want Op City business, we promoted automatically to experience. And then we're going to get some tips and tricks on how to work the database to make sure we're maximizing our lead flow opportunities on those 3 tools. So more to come on that. And I think I just like to put this up there. $165,000 is the number you should remember, because that's the beginning to the path to Centurion. So if you can generate 165,000 in gross commission, that little trophy will be yours. And then 215, 265, 320, 640, and 960 to get to the top. And that's all I've got to say for today. One new chat. Cheryl, I have a pre-qualified buyer that wants to use Ribbon for a purchase in DeLand. I submitted the property that they'd like to purchase, but it doesn't qualify because it's outside their, yeah, that's a problem. Any other cash buyer that will purchase, you check Home Partners and check Divvy. I think Divvy's got a little more flexibility to their locations. So hopefully that helps. All right, manager team, anything for the greater good? Jeff, you want to sign us off? I have to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no problem. Just a reminder, guys, I don't know how else to say it, but I'm watching the interest rates, and if you don't think they're going to keep going up, you're crazy. So this is the
4 more
time.
increases this year.
What's that?
We talk about 4 more increases this year.
Right. Right.
We're going to be 6.5%. So if you're not buying now, you're nuts.
You're absolutely crazy. If you're planning on buying in the next year or two, if it's honestly in a thought horizon for you, I'm talking about you as an agent, buying an investment property or upgrading your house or getting to a different neighborhood. If you don't do it right now, it's stupid. You've got the highest equity ever, and you've got rates that are still low, and they're going to go up. You cannot stop it. Inflation's not going away. So I think we need to take a stronger position, reaching out into our spheres and say, guys, hey, pay attention. This is the time. If you're thinking about selling, your buyer pool is big. Every time the rates go up 0.5 point, your buyer pool gets this big. Goes up another one, buyer pool gets this big. Goes up again, buyer pool gets this big. Right? It's just simple supply and demand. So I think we need to take a stronger position, talking to our sphere, talking to our markets, talking through social platforms to educate, empower, encourage people to do something and speed up their timeline. If it was on the horizon for a move, do it now. If any of you guys are thinking about moving, you better do it now, right? Or else it's just a dumb thing to do. So if it's on the horizon, make the move. So that's it. Just be a little stronger, deliver that message, and help people do what they're going to do anyway. And it's in their best interest. So that's my.
Let me throw this out too, because I had a conversation with a friend yesterday who's thinking they'd like to move. And they've got their place, which is a really nice place. And it's got a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 2.75%.
Yeah.
It's almost a criminal act to sell that unit at 2.75%.
Yes, if you don't need to take that trapped equity out to buy something new.
Or you can get a home equity line of credit on that, depending on your mortgage situation.
Yep.
Here's my thing. It's complex. It's complicated. And it's competitive. It's not simple. It's not crazy. These are strategies that have to be invoked. So if you have enough equity or have the ability to buy down payment another house, even if you have to use a tool like Ribbon to get in there, I think sound advice to your past clients and spheres is keep your house with your 3% interest rate, because you're probably never going to get that again.
That's right.
It's a tough one. It's complex. It's complicated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So anyway, that's it.
That's
It's
why we
a
have.
night. We're a little overtime right now, but anyway, thank you guys for all your input today, and stay strong. Tomorrow, Chris has got a training topic for us, which he'll be preparing. Jim and I will be doing Moxie on Friday and on Thursday rather, and I haven't looked at Friday yet, but it'll be something really cool because we've got lots of issues we can talk about. So that being said, happy Thursday or Tuesday or whatever day it is. Bye.